Hey there TRW crew, Matt Vassallo here with the rhinestoneworld.com. So we had a few questions on a couple of the Facebook pages and forums as far as working with our Zebra HTV Truetype fonts. So these are the heat transfer vinyl Truetype fonts that we've created, that we created specifically to be able to be used with not only your regular heat trans vinyls like the Easy Weed that we have on our website, but also to be able to layer the glitter vinyls by doing it this special way. So a couple of you have had some questions as far as how to work with it in the WinPC sign program, and I got it pulled up here and just going to show you a quick tutorial on how to do it. So we did a video recently with a birthday shirt where we just did a big number 7 on it in the glitter vinyl, and then we layered it. So I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So we're just going to grab our text tool here, and let's just say we want to do the number 23. So I'm going to type out a big 23 here. Doesn't matter what size it is, because heat transfer vinyl, it's not like Rhinestone, so you can adjust this font to anything you want. Where with our Rhinestone Truetype fonts, they have to be a specific size, because the circle has to be the right size for the stones to be able to brush in right, whether it's an SS6, SS10, 16, 20, whatever size stone you're using. Where the heat transfer vinyls, you can make it any size you want, because all you're going to do is you're going to cut your glitter vinyls, your Easy Weeds, whatever you're going to do, and then just go from there. So we got our number 23 here, and we're going to go to our font, and we're going to pick our TRW Zebra number font, and we're going to hit OK, and we're going to hit OK again. So you'll see our TRW Zebra number font here. Now let me go ahead and double click on this. One thing you do want to make sure is that you don't have it on bold. You just want it on regular. I'm going to show you why. When you have the Truetype font here on bold, look what happens and look what you can see here. So if I zoom in here, see how the cut lines are kind of going crazy? It's because you're trying to create it into a bold font. It's not made to be a bold font. So what you're going to do is you just want to go ahead and double click on this and highlight the 23 there, click on your font, and just switch it to regular, and then hit OK, and then OK again. Now watch, I'm going to zoom into that same area there and see how much cleaner it is now. So you just want to make sure it's on regular. If you see any weird cut lines like that, just make sure that it's not on bold and it's on regular. So we got our 23 right here, and if we look, we want to, let's say we want to make it for the back of a shirt, a custom number 23. And we want it about, the numbers to be about 7 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and, now these boxes around it, these are just to be able to make it line up perfectly. It's kind of like the sticky flock boxes with heat transfer vinyl, but also the way that we make our Truetype fonts specifically to be able to line it up so you don't have to do any adjusting and line up everything perfectly. Also going to make it a little bit easier to weed. So we got our 23 right there, and as you can see, I just typed in the number 2 and 3 on that one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click and duplicate. You can also hit Alt D. So I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm just going to move the duplication down here. And then I'm going to open that back up. I'm going to hold shift and hit, oh, you want to delete those other two. Hold shift and hit 2, 3. And then OK. Now see the difference? This is the fill part. So if we line those up perfectly right on top of each other, you're going to see a slight overlap, which is exactly what we want. So I don't have them lined up perfectly there, but let me get it a little bit better, and you're going to see that little overlap, and that's what's going to make it so it's easier for you to go ahead and make the design where your shirt isn't going to be showing through, but you're not literally layering the glitter on top of each other, because with the nice glitters out there, you can't layer them just because of the material they're made out of, and they're eventually gonna, the glitter's eventually gonna start peeling off through washes. So this is kind of a trick method to be able to layer the glitter vinyls and get that perfect layer look. But another great thing it does is it makes it so it's not as thick. So if you layer 2 of those thicker materials on top of each other, it's got that real thick feel to a shirt, where if you do it this way, it doesn't get as thick of a feel. So What we did is we just typed out our 2, 3, we duplicated it so it's exact same size. So what you don't want to do is, like for example, if you adjusted just that one now and not this one, they're not going to line up. So I'm going to hit Control Z and go back. So those are lined up perfectly. As you can see, there's the outline part. So you're going to, on this one, you're going to weed out these little inside parts here. And then on this one here, you're just going to weed out the box and those parts are going to stay. And that's what's going to make it so you can line it up perfectly. It doesn't matter which one you press first. You can press either one first. You can also, if you wanted to, do this part in glitter and this part in the regular easy weed, however you want. Now, one thing you do want to make sure before you cut it is if you select both of them and go to text, you do want to make sure that you mirror your text. So we just mirrored that one, and we're going to go to text, and let's go tools and mirror text. Okay, so now we have both of them mirrored. Obviously with your heat transfer vinyls you always have to mirror them, so you can waste a lot of material when you forget to do that. All of us have done it because you get excited, you get ready to cut something and you forget to mirror it, which is the main part, because then when you press it on the shirt it's obviously going to be pressed backwards. So you always want to mirror it before you cut it. So this design is actually done and we can go ahead and cut it. So let's say you're going to cut this one here in, I don't know, let's say the hot pink glitter, and you're going to cut this one in the black glitter, and those are your two different colors. Now one thing you also want to make sure is when you are pressing the design, that first press you're only going to press for about 3 to 5 seconds. If you do a full press on that first press, what it can actually do, it can shrink the material a little bit and then it's not going to line up as good. So you want a quick press, just enough to get the adhesive on the heat transfer vinyls to bond to that shirt just enough, and then you're going to get the full press on the second one once you layer it, and then you're going to obviously get the full bond and a good adhesion for both colors. So on that first press, make sure, a lot of people, that's where a lot of people run into problems, is if you press that for a full 10, 12, 15 seconds, it can end up shrinking that design a little bit, or the actual vinyl a little bit, and that's where you'll run into issues as far as layering your second part of the design. So 3 to 5 seconds for the first press, and then the full recommended time for whatever material you're using for the second press. And you do need to make sure it is a hot peel. If you are using a cold peel, then obviously you have to wait longer. Some of the cold peels don't work as good, and most of the materials, the good materials that are out there now, are the hot peels. Also going to show you another one real quick, and if I go to text here, another similar design we have. Let's just say we type out cheer, and I'm going to double click on this one. Again, I'm going to go to fonts, and I'm going to choose TRW, and there's our Zebra HTV font. And this is another Truetype font that we have available on the website. And when I type this one out, again, same thing. Make sure you look at it. If you see those little spots there like that, where it gets real weird on it, just make sure to check it before you cut it, because if you do cut it like that, then you will have issues. So make sure to check that you're not on bold there. You can see regulars up here. So some of you can have your settings. We probably have our settings set to be on bold all the time. So just make sure you always double check that it is on regular, because now when I zoom into that area again, you see how much cleaner it is, and that's what we want. So always make sure that you do have that clean cut with the regular and not the bold. So again, we got the cheer. I'm going to right click, I'm going to duplicate, or you can use the shortcut Alt D, and then I'm just going to bring it right down here, and then again I'm going to hold down Shift this time and type out C-H-E, let's get rid of the other ones, C-H-E-E-R, hit OK, and you can see there's the outline of it and there's the fill of it. Again, all we need to do, go to text. First, you obviously want to make sure on your size. This one is 7 inches by 23 inches. Obviously, we don't want that. So one way you can shrink both of them, make sure you highlight both of the designs, because they're going to shrink simultaneously and they're going to shrink to the actual exact same size. Let's say we wanted this design to be 9.7 inches wide. That's a good file and good size right there. And we can zoom in here a little bit on it. All you're going to do when you're ready to cut, go to text, mirror text, go to text, mirror text, whatever one you want to cut. Let's say you're going to cut this one in the glitter black and you're going to cut this one in the glitter orange. However you want to do it. And then again, you'll see how to weed it with the boxes, and then we do have the boxes around it to make it a little bit easier for weeding, so you're not having to weed the entire word out at one time, because some of these little points, little spots do get a little bit more difficult to weed, so you do have to definitely pay attention when you're weeding it. But the end result you're going to get and how quickly you can make a design like this definitely outweighs the time for weeding it, because it's going to give you that awesome zebra look. So those are just a couple of the Truetype fonts that we have available on our website at therhinestoneworld.com. We do have all of your hotfix rhinestones. We have over 3,000 different instant download files with Truetype fonts and every design you can think of, and building that library every week. So make sure to check all those out. All the different deals we have. Our Facebook page, make sure to check that out. We give out all of our different deals on our Facebook page. But if you want either one of these heat transfer vinyl Truetype fonts that we have available on the website, right below this video you'll see the link to go to the HTV numbers and to the HTV letters, both of them that we demonstrated in this video. And then if you do have any questions at any time about any of the files or anything we have, make sure to give us a call. Numbers 941-755-1696. Again, this is Matt with the rhinestoneworld.com, and you guys all have a great day.